And a very good morning to you and welcome to Litt on Sunday, and my name is Litt. On this program, every week we bring you update with the news headlines and particularly look at the stories which affect the Asian community. In today's program, we'll be looking at the Asian award industry in the UK, and a little later, the effect of the turban phobia within the Sikh community. We'll also be looking at the Sunday papers, but first let's have news headlines from Jessie.
Campaigners are warning South Asians could suffer if the government slashes nearly 200 quangos. They say there are already too few South Asians being represented in important government-funded organisations, even if they have expertise in the area. A post-mortem is due to be carried out today on the 23-year-old Asian woman found burning behind a house in Bradford. The unnamed woman was found dead behind a property on Cloudsdale Avenue late on Thursday. The police serious crime and homicide squad is investigating. A former Scotland Yard commander jailed for corruption has only paid £750 towards the cost of his five-figure trial. Prosecutors had demanded £64,000 from Ali Desai, but it has been revealed that his legal team has had that drastically reduced. The Metropolitan Police Authority may apply to make Desai forfeit some or all of his estimated £1 million pension pot. Residents around Hounslow may be getting a knock on their door to help avoid a hefty fine. Over the next few weekends, canvassers will be visiting residents in the borough, delivering and collecting electoral register forms. The high migrant population in Hounslow means people's addresses are constantly changing as they come and go. But if a household isn't properly registered, they could be faced with a £1,000 fine. And finally, a charity has been called that charities and governments to combine to tackle the world poverty. Muslim Aid say far more cooperation is needed between different groups in order to make the best use of aid available to those around the world. It is part of a campaign to get countries geared up to meet a promise made at the UN to halve the world poverty by 2015. And that's it from the Sunrise News team and me. Now back to the studio.
Thank you, Jessie. Being nominated or getting an award is always very exciting. The image of Oscars come to mind, very glamorous and glitzy. But now there's a scheme within the Asian community in the UK where everybody's a winner. Now there are all kinds of awards. Music awards, charity awards, business awards. In fact, you name it and we have it. Hardly a week goes by when we don't have awards, and there are times when there are two or three in the same week. The desire to be acknowledged has become so great that even generally conservative professions such as doctors, lawyers, accountants and bankers, never mind ordinary people like you and me, have gone crazy. Everybody wants an award. In fact, the award seekers feel pretty insulted when they don't get one. However, it's not all bad news. These functions have become good networking events, and even the guests who attend them generally do not take these awards very seriously. Very often, these award ceremonies turn into shambles with only the recipient taken seriously while others are networking. One can't say all awards are bogus, but many are given to people simply because they make a financial contribution in the form of buying tables or sponsoring the event. What I don't understand is why they can't just go to the best trophy shop in the world and buy the biggest and as many trophies as they want and put them at home and say they're all mine. At least the trophies will be of better quality. But I suppose there's a certain feeling of achievement with the idea of receiving an award in a crowded room with your family and friends looking at you. Makes it all worthwhile. This is how the scam works. Generally, the event is organized for self-promotion or profit, and in the first year, the awards are given to people on merit, and that sets the agenda. The following year, they pick up social climbers who are seeking recognition and are prepared to pay large sums of money for it, and that's how they get rich. The money transaction remains secret, but on the night the money giver is surprised and happy to receive the award. So we sent out Raj Mehta to look at the mushrooming award industry where everyone is a winner.
When you are successful, name, fame and money come automatically. But in today's society, all this must be topped with an award or trophy, or else your success is not complete and sometimes not recognized. Hence the lucrative award industry was born. Every field, be it educational, commerce or sport or entertainment, has its own award function or presentation ceremony. As the Asian population in the UK is growing rapidly, it comes as no surprise that we have come up with our own twist on the award ceremony, such as Asian Business Award, Asian Personality of the Year, and the Asian Music Awards, to name but a few. These awards take place every year and in recent years have become a very lavish affair. Dignitaries, A-listers and mostly the well-to-do are on the guest list. On some occasions, getting on the guest list can be a momentous achievement in itself. Not only are these award functions hard to get into, they are not cheap to attend. Each high-profile award is sponsored by a big brand name and is endorsed by them. The cost of tickets and tables can run into hundreds and sometimes even thousands of pounds. So where does all the money go?
When you organize a function in a five-star hotel and in a very impressive way, naturally there are expenses. And we have completed the expenses for this function, and any surplus we pass on for our charitable activities. If you are talking about estimate, I would say about 20% of the collection will go to the charity.
Well, the organisers have their own take on the matter as far as monetary concerns go, but what about the judges panel and the nominations? Technically, only the best in their field and the most able should be nominated, but apparently to be nominated in one of these high-profile award ceremonies is one thing and winning another. Recently, these awards have been given to high-caliber people who have the right connections and who possess the power to lobby the nomination panel. So we come to the age-old problem of he who wields the sword is all-powerful. It can be clearly seen the more power and contacts one has, the more chance of gaining a trophy for the mantelpiece. However, no one will ever admit to it. Although it is natural for a winner to appreciate the whole process and the loser to mourn his loss, the question remains, how genuine are these awards really?
I mean, it's always a fair system. They choose judges at random. Judges are chosen where they have done achievements themselves in a certain field or any particular line. The awards are judged by an independent panel, which I believe is very fair for them to choose at an unbiased basis.
Awards organisers say their choices of nominees reflect the community's choices, as it normally asks the public to vote for their favourite. Despite an open poll, why do organisers come to a final decision behind closed doors? We turn to the public to ask their opinion on these award ceremonies and what their views on the reliability of these awards are.
I hope they're not fixed, but if they are, then it's all for the money, I guess.
It depends from categories to categories. Well, as a normal public, we like to watch people and we always feel that the right person should deserve the award.
Sometimes, it's sometimes I think could be, not all, I wouldn't say 100% fixed, maybe 10 to 20% might be fixed, because sometimes who you know, where you know, in our Asian culture anyway, it's very common, yes.
Producers are recognizing that we are sort of angry about this predictability and they are sort of trying to stop it.
So before they come on the stage and accept and go all this Disneyland stuff, right, they already know they won it because it's predictable. I'll call it spot fixing there. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it depends really who's got the fame, who's not, everyone's voting on and all that stuff. So yeah, it all goes on like whoever's a favourite really.
It depends on which ceremony it is. So some of them are predictable and some of them are genuine. So
I think the only way they can make it fair is if they can maybe make people vote online by phones, calling in, and I think there should be an automated system whereby the winners just come out of like a random hat, or like the national lottery really, where the balls just are drawn at random. So that's how I think the people should win it.
The idea of an award is to recognise an individual's or a company's achievements, reinforce their brand in a global marketplace and set a benchmark for quality and performance. It is supposed to acknowledge one's hard work and success. That is why it is vital that nominees are chosen carefully, transparently and wisely. Sadly, this seems not to be the case nowadays. These ceremonies that were once open have become elitist, egoistic, and most of all, extremely commercialized. They have become more of a close-knit fraternity than an open forum for all. It seems like a members-only club where winning and losing does not really matter. What matters is who is there and what financial gains can be made. Basically, it just seems like one big money-spinning venture. The Asian Awards has an opportunity for the Asian community to be seen and heard in an extravagant manner. But will this trend continue to flourish, or will it wilt into oblivion? This remains to be seen.